Hello YouTube, this is Galactic Marine 501, and if you watch my channel faithfully, which I don't know why anybody would, but if you do, you may have seen my review of the Cybertron mode, the Transformer Cybertron mode Soundwave. I like the sculpt of this figure so much that I went out looking for the rest of the series, which includes Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, Cliffjumper, and Megatron, as far as I know. And I was able to find the last two, Cliffjumper and Megatron. So this review is going to be of Megatron and hopefully Cliffjumper if Megatron doesn't take up too much time. So anyway, I love the sculpts of all of these figures. They really sort of have that G1 feel while sticking to the new age Transformers look. Megatron, here we go. Megatron, let's start with Megatron, because he's cooler. And when I get Bumblebee, I will do a comparison review, but just take Cliffjumper's review as Bumblebee as well, because they are almost exactly the same. Here's Megatron in his Cybertron tank mode. Or no, this is a hover tank mode, because if you look on the sides, he's got hover jets. Now, he does turn into tank mode, and what you do for that is you just spin these around, then pop them out. Like this. There. Just that simple. Just spin it around and then pop it out. And now he's in tank mode because he's got tank treads on the sides. This figure is awesome. He's got his cannon in the front that's very reminiscent of the G1 cannon. And actually I'll pop that off because I'm going to transform him right now. The cannon actually really does look like it. It's got a firing missile, which I'm going to fire right now into my hand. There, and as you can see, the missile fires out, and it's a very cool cannon. I don't want to put the missile back in right now because I don't want it to get shot out, and I don't want to lose it because it is a cool feature. And I'm going to begin transforming this guy now. I know I said that I'm not collecting Transformers as faithfully anymore. I'm not. But I just really love the sculpts on these Cybertron mode figures, so I really had to go out. I really have to go out and buy all of them because they are so cool. And so Megatron is no different. He's a very cool figure, and he's definitely worth the $12 or whatever that you spend for him. I mean, he's a terrific figure, and the price is actually worth it. I mean, I know $12 may be a lot for a Transformers figure, but I would buy this guy any day of the week because he is very cool looking. He's a very cool figure for a very cool price, which is always a winner for me. And so yeah, the transformation is is actually quite complicated for a Voyager class figure, and I do believe this guy has a level 4. However, I don't trust the levels for anything because I've had level 2s that are harder than level 4s. It's really just in the eye of the beholder. So if you're intimidated by the levels, don't be. They're just like, I mean, I don't know who makes the levels, but they're not very good at it. And so the cannon then attaches to, I want to make sure I get the right arm. I want to make sure I stick it into the right arm so it is actually like the G1. I'm pretty sure it's this arm in the G1, but if I'm wrong, please, if you'll leave a comment in the section below, I'll be happy about that, and I'll call myself out in another video. So anyway, yeah, here's Megatron in his robot form. He looks very reminiscent of the G1 Megatron. His head looks almost exactly the same. His cannon is actually quite reminiscent, and the gray color is almost spot on. Now he also has the purple highlights, which is also reminiscent, and the Decepticon logo I think is in the same spot on the original. I'm not sure though, because I'm not a huge collector of Megatron like I am Soundwave. So yeah, but he's a very cool figure, and I definitely recommend this guy. Now, on to the second one, which is Cliffjumper. He's got sort of a Cybertron race car mode, which is cool, but it doesn't click together as well as Megatron does. I give Soundwave a 10 out of 10. Megatron also gets a 10 out of 10, and this guy gets about a 9 out of 10 because of the fact that he doesn't click together as well as I would have liked. But despite that fact, he's a great figure. Now, he's also a very solid transformation if you do it correctly, so it's also very difficult to get him out of his transformed mode. Which I spent the extra time to do it correctly, so this may take a little extra time trying to get him back. So, yeah. Please enjoy this sequence and me ranting about the figure while I try to transform it. Yeah, I really do like this figure. He's a great figure. He really is. I know I gave him a point off because of his transformation, because of the fact that a lot of the pieces don't want to pop in, but he does have a lot of like little tabbing pieces that will not pop in very well under some circumstances. But despite that, the robot mode is very cool, as you will see in a few minutes when I finish it. He also has very cool alt mode, but as I said before, the transformation is a little spotty. But oh well. I mean, he's a transformer. What can you do? Some of the connection. Honestly, I'm gonna give this guy a 9.5 because only one of the connections on one side was faulty, so it may just have been my particular figure had a bit of glue or something in there or something. I don't know. But yeah, this guy, I'd still recommend this guy, even despite that, I'd still recommend him highly because I really like these sculpts. I really, really like the characters that they decided to do. Now, Cliffjumper I could have done without. I mean, because he is exactly... But, you know, if they're going to do a Bumblebee, they're going to have to do a Cliffjumper because, you know, it's another figure that collectors will go for. And it's not that hard to do. They just have to replace the yellow with red, honestly. Because Cliffjumper is Bumblebee's twin, so... Yeah, so anyway, the transformation is actually easy enough once you get the hang of it. However, he does not have wings, which, I mean, I never really liked the wings anyway, so I was never a huge fan of the wings anyway, so, you know, it doesn't really matter to me that he doesn't have them. But some of the more G1 fans will probably complain about that. But, yeah, so anyway... Here he is, and I forgot to detach this from the back. He does also have a weapon storage in his backpack, like Soundwave did. And, oh yeah. One of the pieces that you really have to be careful of is there is a slide joint. I don't know if you can see it in there. It's right here. There. And that is to make it transform a little better. Now it works, but only just. There are pieces that really do not want to connect in. Now there's also a little piece of gunk in mine for some reason. I don't know what that is. Okay. Well, yeah. Despite that, that's the first time that's ever happened to me on a Transformer. Did I get a little piece of random junk in there? I've had it happen on a few other types of toys that I get like a little piece of glue in the package or something, but not on a Transformer, I don't think. Now, the other piece of the transformation that I cannot seem to get in, that I'm actually fiddling with right now, is on the arms. There's actually a tiny little spot where you're supposed to lock a piece in, but I cannot do that. It just doesn't want to go in. I don't know why. I mean, I'm trying to get it in, but it just doesn't go. But I guess that's not really important because it doesn't add anything to the figure except a little more stability in the arms and the tendency for them not to do this when you move him back and forth. These little pieces like to flip off if they don't. If it's not pegged in there. Now, he does come with a gun, right here. And it goes into his hand, like so. And he holds onto it well. And yeah. And he also has his blades. These would also work a little better, I think. Okay, I am really getting annoyed by this piece now. Okay, and I did not end up seating the piece. What I ended up doing was popping his hand off. Okay, that's not exactly right. Oh, wow, okay, I see what's the problem. If I could only fix it is the issue. Ah. Here we go. This thing is on a slight pivot joint right here. So if I were to pop this piece in or out, I can't tell. Slide it a little or something. I don't know. There we go. Perfect. Now this piece connects to there, and that did nothing! Well, forget that. He does have blades on both wrists, and I'll figure out how those connect in later, but for now it's not important. He does have little blades on both wrists, which is also reminiscent of G1, and his head is also reminiscent. Now, I haven't found Optimus or Bumblebee, but when I do, I'm not going to do a full review on Bumblebee. I will show you both modes on Bumblebee, but consider this the review for Bumblebee, because they are pretty much the same, and I will do a comparison on that review. Now, this guy, I really like him. He's very cool. I would recommend both of those figures. And a little sticky wax may be helpful. Another thing that I picked up, I'm just going to tell you about this quickly. I picked up a 2-pack, which included the Ironhide with his extra weapons setup. I can review this guy later if you want. And it was a 2-pack, so it also included this cyborg version of Bone Crusher. Now, when I say cyborg, I'll show you what I mean. If you look at his face, it's got half of it is that steel gray color. Then on his arm, he's also got a gray piece. Then on his back, he also has gray on one side. It's melted out there. He's also got scarring all over his armor. There. On the back, there. Let's see, any other places notable? Here we go, on the sides of the vehicle there. And this is from obviously getting his butt kicked there on that side of the top of the robot. This is from obviously getting his butt kicked by Optimus Prime. And yeah, so he does have... yeah, that's about it. But this guy is a good bonus. And I got it for $15 at Walmart. It was originally higher than that. It was on clearance, so I picked it up because, you know, if it's clearanced, I'll take it. And it has a figure that I like, which was the Ironhide in this case. I also went out and picked up another Series 2 minifigures pack, which I got another Spartan intentionally. I figured out which one was a Spartan. I got this from Borders. They're actually more expensive there. They're usually like $2. They were $4 at Borders, but, you know, if I can find another Spartan, I'm happy. And I'm going to put them together on camera, even though I don't have time, and I'm really going to have to zoom through this. Okay, oh, God, jeez. So anyway, yeah, the Spartans, I like the Spartan minifigures a lot. Here we go, shield. I'm almost done with this video, so Galactic Marine 501 out. I'm going to try to get this guy together and show him to you and talk about him a little bit. There we go. Spartan. He's a very cool figure. I like his arms. I like his helmet. It's very cool. His shield's nice, and everything else is nice. And this video's over, so this is Galactic Marine 501 out.